Hey, Pastor Joe here, going to read day 8 of our devotion, joy and suffering. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous hand. Isaiah 41:10. In our book, Always Enough, we wrote about a vision Heidi had of the thousands of kids she was supposed to take care of. At the time, we were struggling to look after a few hundred, and it was overwhelming. Heidi's natural response was, no, I can't take care of so many. Telling her to look into his eyes, Jesus responded, because I died, there will always be enough. Then he handed her a cup and said it was a cup both of joy and suffering. Will you drink it, he said. The truth is, the Christian life is made up of both joy and suffering. The question is, will you drink it? The modern church is quick to eliminate the idea of suffering. Many teach that because Jesus suffered, you won't have to. But this leads to the idea that if someone is suffering in your church, it is because they're not exercising enough faith. They're not praying enough. They don't know who they are as children of the King on this earth. Let's think about this for a minute. Suffering is not something that happens to just a specific people, chosen by God for a single special purpose. The Bible is absolutely filled with people whose lives were a mixture of both suffering and joy. The apostles were beaten, broken, abused, shipwrecked, yet praising the Lord and spreading the good news of his love. How can we think that it will be any different for us? It would have been impossible for us to survive in Mozambique if we hadn't learned that the Christian life is a cup of both joy and suffering. The people we've met, the places we visited, the terrible situations we faced have all brought a mixture of joy and hardship into our lives. However, it is not the experience of suffering that really matters, but how we react to it. Do we turn away from God, or do we look to him? Are we prepared to take our hand and guide us through each situation, or do we fight him and become bitter and angry? Each hardship, each moment of suffering is an opportunity to draw us closer to God. In times of suffering, we need to seek his will and wisdom more wholeheartedly. Through this, our character, strength, compassion, resilience, and wisdom will grow. Paul prays in Ephesians 1:17, I keep asking that the God of our Lord Jesus Christ, the glorious Father, may give you the spirit of wisdom and revelation so that you will know him better. Every day, let's seek to know him better. Whether we are in a time of joy or suffering, let's take God's hand and walk with him through it, knowing that the Lord is good to those whose hope is in him, to the one who seeks him. Lamentations 3:25.